CIA logo.
Yeah, it's inverted. Yeah.
And then it has a little laundry machine in its toe with money coming out of it.
That's all cocaine coming from Colombia.
Yes.
It's a drug
Yes,
cartel.
This is a drug trade.
Drug trade.
And the money laundering is a reference to when the U.S. government used to sell cocaine, crack cocaine, in the ghettos of the U.S. This is proven, so that they could get money, cash money, so that they could buy arms from Iran and then give them to the right-wing guerrilla groups in Central America, the Contras. And so they were supporting a right-wing militia. Anyway, so those are the boats. And in these old maps, they used to have these guys with big puffy cheeks that would tell you where storms are in these old world maps. And so this map also has storms, but they represent pressures. They're the pressure systems that are acting on Mesoamerica. So in the north, we have the north wind of militarism and pesticides coming from the U.S. to Mesoamerica. Versus in the south, we have disaster caused by climate change and displacement and war that are causing the forest to migrate north. Here, we have all of the parts that are coming in from Asia, and it's the manufacturing cloud. And it's all being put over here so that the parts can be assembled and then sucked up by the consumer tornado to bring to markets in Europe and North America. And if I'm talking, I know that English is none of your guys' first language. I'm trying to speak slowly. But if anyone wants me to explain something or have someone translate, please just put up your hands.
Okay.
So those are the winds. And then another dynamic that we have is these, we call them Mobius strips.
Yeah.
Do you know what a Mobius strip is?
So in the DNA structure, that it?
Well, a Mobius strip is a little different than that. It's like if you took a strip of paper, and then you twist it once, and then you join them again, you could trace without ever, it's an infinite loop. And so we use these to represent various dynamics, oppressive dynamics that exist. So this is, repression versus resistance. And then it comes to a half-tank, half-tractor, which is both a historic reference to the interplay between agriculture and war, because in Guatemala especially, which is a country in Central America, the CIA staged a coup, which ended up in a violent war in Guatemala because the president wanted to take the unused land from the big agriculture company, United Fruit Company, which is now Chiquita Banana. So Guatemala, the government of Guatemala wanted to redistribute land and give unused land to the peasants so that they could farm on it. And the United Fruit Company didn't like that. And the United Fruit Company also had people that were involved in it that were very high up in the State Department. And so they ended up overthrowing the government of Guatemala. And what ended up happening afterwards was 30 years of civil war. Or 20 years of civil war. And then down here, does anyone recognize this figure?
That's a Monsanto.
Monsanto.
That's
Oil.
corporation.
And Monsanto, so agriculture, oil and agriculture. We call this the Trojan horse. Does anyone know what a Trojan horse is? It's Greek.
It's Greek.
It's from Greek mythology. But the idea was that they brought this huge horse as a gift. And then they filled the horse with all of this army. Yeah. And then once the horse was in the gate, because they thought it was a gift,
That's right.
all the army came out and destroyed the fortress. And so this is it's used to represent false gifts. And so this is the false gift of biofuel, or creating fuel from agriculture. And so you can see out here, all these different conquistadors.
Conquistadors.
Yes, conquistadors. And this one represents genetic contamination. You can see it has a syringe.
Yeah. Chainsaw.
It represents deforestation. And this one with a gas pump that's held up to this ant. The gas pump is held up to the head. Is representing the dynamic of food versus fuel. So now that the U.S. is demanding all of this biofuel, it's putting more pressure on people that live rurally to use the land for fuel instead of food that they need.